For decades, Sean "Diddy" Combs was a titan in music, fashion, and business, an icon who built bad boy records and shaped pop culture. But on June 26, 2025, that legacy faces its greatest threat, a federal criminal trial in Manhattan. Diddy stands accused of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, and transportation for prostitution. Charges that could mean life in prison. The allegations are grave, painting a picture of a criminal enterprise behind the glitz and glamour. If convicted, Diddy faces a mandatory minimum of 15 years with no chance of parole. The trial has gripped the nation, exposing a world of luxury and darkness. How did a celebrated mogul end up here, his future in the hands of a jury? Inside the courtroom, stories of control, manipulation, and violence have replaced the headlines of success. This video will break down the case, from the first lawsuit to the evidence, the defense, and what's at stake as the jury prepares to decide. The story of Diddy's trial is still unfolding, and its impact will be felt for years. The road to this trial began not with a raid, but with Cassie Ventura's civil lawsuit in November 2023, alleging years of abuse and trafficking. The case settled in 24 hours for $20 million, but it sparked a federal investigation already underway. In March 2024, Homeland Security raided Diddy's homes, seizing electronics and evidence tied to sex trafficking and narcotics. The public was stunned by details like the hundreds of bottles of lubricant hinting at organized large-scale sexual encounters. By September, a grand jury indicted Diddy on sex trafficking and racketeering, escalating the case from rumor to reality. The indictment grew to 5 felony counts by April 2025, setting the stage for a high-stakes trial. This rapid progression from one woman's voice to a federal prosecution shows how quickly power can unravel. Now, the world watches as the allegations are tested in court. The prosecution opened with a bombshell hotel surveillance footage from 2016 showing Diddy assaulting Cassie Ventura. Cassie's testimony was central. She described freak-offs, threats, and psychological control, painting a picture of ongoing abuse. Other witnesses, including Jane and Kid Cudi, added stories of recent abuse and violent retaliation. Forensic evidence, travel records, texts about party supplies, and photos from the raids bolstered the prosecution's case. The government argued this was a highly organized operation for sexual exploitation. Diddy's defense called no witnesses, relying on cross-examination and arguing the relationships were consensual and part of a swinger lifestyle. They highlighted old texts from Cassie expressing love, framing her as a scorned ex. A motion for acquittal was denied, leaving the defense with only doubt to offer. The jury is left to weigh a mountain of evidence against a silent defense. The stakes could not be higher. After 29 days and 34 witnesses, the prosecution rested its case. The defense followed suit, calling no witnesses, leaving the government's narrative unchallenged. In a surprise move, prosecutors dropped kidnapping and arson from the racketeering charge, streamlining the case to focus on sex trafficking and forced prostitution. Legal experts saw this as a smart play. A simpler case is easier for the jury to digest. The prosecution's confidence rested on Cassie's testimony and corroborating evidence. The judge granted the defense a brief delay for closing arguments, giving them time to adjust. With deliberations looming, the tension in the courtroom is palpable. Everything now hinges on how the jury interprets the evidence. The fate of Sean "Diddy" Combs now rests with 12 New Yorkers. After weeks of graphic testimony, the jury must decide, unanimously, if the prosecution proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. A guilty verdict on sex trafficking means at least 15 years in prison. Racketeering could mean life with no parole. A hung jury would force a mistrial and a possible retrial. The judge will schedule sentencing if there's a conviction, weighing the details and federal guidelines. Many expect a quick verdict, given the prosecution's evidence and the defense's lack of witnesses. Still, the complexity of the charges could give jurors pause. The pressure is immense. Their decision will echo far beyond this courtroom. The world waits for the jury's word. Even before a verdict, Diddy's trial has shaken the culture he helped build. Brands have distanced themselves, and streaming numbers for Bad Boy Records have dropped since the assault video surfaced. The fallout is commercial and cultural. Fans are divided, with #Mute Diddy and #Innocent Until Proven trending in fierce debate. Some demand a boycott, citing the evidence. Others defend Diddy's right to due process. The trial forces tough questions about celebrity, power, and accountability in the #MeToo era. Can we separate art from the artist when the allegations are this severe? Whatever the verdict, Diddy's legacy is forever changed. His name will now be linked to both his achievements and this dark chapter.